All right. So this is not your typical episode of, oh, we've talked about that. This is a special episode. This is a Eric Takeover episode. This is going to be a Parker and Amy Liss episode. And I'm joined by my name buddy.
How we
You,
doing?
you've yeah, you've been on at least one or two episodes. One,
I
just
think
one,
one.
just one.
Yeah,
All right. Yeah, that was
yeah.
a good episode too. I think out of all the guest episodes we've had, or they've had, I should say, yours was my favorite by
Thank
far.
you. I mean,
Yeah.
talking The Office. I mean, it's a great subject. Makes it
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah, absolutely. So, um,
Yeah. And Amy and Parkerless episode. Everything their fans have been clamoring for. The
yeah,
fans that listen for Amy and Parker are now without their
and
namesake.
I think this how this episode does can really open up some doors for us, Let's say this
Yeah,
episode just goes, you know,
could
completely
really change the
crazy.
course of our lives
Just the
forever.
reviews, yeah, and people are like, "Hey, we want more of that." We just
Got to
start
give
our
the
own
people what they want.
podcast, and yeah, absolutely. A mic between two Erics, as I like to call it.
Yeah,
um
it's a good one.
but it's Christmas time. It's early December, and speaking of The Office, I know there's a lot of Christmas episodes throughout all the seasons. I don't know how many off the top of my head. I haven't seen them all, but
Strike
um
one.
yeah, I should probably do that before a season ends. But I wanted to ask you, as the Office encyclopedia, which of the Christmas episodes is your favorite?
This is an easy one. It's the first one they did, season 2, Christmas party. The OG when they did the Yankee swap. Have you seen that one?
I don't know, the early seasons. I'm not that I can't, like, season 3 and above usually, but like between seasons like 3 and 7, I know a lot of them, but like 1, 2, and like 8 and 9, not so much.
Yeah, that's the first one that they had, and it was just perfect. Michael Scott being cringy, being a terrible boss, and there's a line that will forever live in my mind is when he is trying to make up for being such a bad boss. And quick, had to say this line. He's going to get booze for the party, even though he's not allowed to. And he got 12 bottles of vodka sitting there on the counter with the guy at the liquor store. And he's like, all right, well, you're the expert. Is this enough to get 15 people plastered? And then the guy who's working the counter looks down. He goes, 12 bottles of vodka? Yeah, that should do it. And he's like, cool, box him up. So, I mean, if you have
Nice.
that line, it's got to be the best one, just from
Yeah.
that line alone.
Yeah, Michael Scott, what a character. Yeah, I haven't yeah, as I already said, I haven't seen all of them, but one that I've seen in recent memory that I enjoy watching is the one, I think it's from season 8. It's when Andy has like his new girlfriend, and Aaron like
Yeah.
wants to get him back, and so she's like getting absolutely plastered. And
Christmas Wishes, that one's called.
yeah, yeah. Um
Yeah.
I like Moroccan Christmas though too. That's a good one.
Oh yeah, I mean Meredith lighting her hair on fire. Can't go
Yeah.
wrong.
So yeah, I just speaking of The Office, I just thought I would, be seasonal to start off the episode, and just
Yeah,
ask you what your favorite
totally.
episode was.
Yeah. If I mean I'm bringing it up every day in my day-to-day life, so let's start it off here on the podcast. But
Yeah.
it might be a good idea if we want to give some backstory on how the two Erics became one
Yeah.
in a way.
Yeah. So you I, we kind of both have our sides, I guess. It's kind of weird. But obviously both went to Michigan State. That's kind of how our whole friend group met. That's how I met Amy. That's how I met a lot of people. And there's a one of our favorite bars on campus, Luha's,
Best bar on
um,
campus.
best bar. And every Thursday they do mug nights, where you go, and if you haven't gone before, you buy a mixed drink in a mug for $8, and then every refill after that is $5, and
Heck of a deal.
you can
Heck
bring
of a
any
deal.
mug that you've had in a previous night to mug night, um, to lock in that $5 price for all your drinks from that point on. And so yeah, I would go with my friends a lot, and I guess that's kind of when your side of the story comes into play, because I kind of just, randomly showed up and you were just there. And I was like, hey, who's this guy?
Who's this guy
Um,
pounding some mugs over there in the
yeah,
corner?
heavy drinker.
Yeah,
But
that was my job actually. I'm pretty sure through college was to go to mug night and drink as many mugs as possible.
yeah. Um, but I mean, yeah, I gotta say, man, you could really pound him down. And really, both of us included. We would do the competition. The Erics versus the Knicks.
Yeah. So
Um,
with the two Knicks in our friend group with two Erics, obviously the rivalry started from there. And then they always had their beards and their facial hair, and they're always showing those off. And then we're like, well, we got the height. We're over 5'9", unlike you two short chumps. So the natural tiebreaker was who could drink more mugs at a mug night. And time again, the Erics,
Prevailed.
destroyed.
Yeah. So, yeah, poor Knicks. Maybe someday,
Yeah.
but they're nowhere near.
But yeah,
But
and I remember, if I don't remember the exact first time meeting, because my mug nights are a little
right.
hazy for sure. But as the great Michael Scott once said, uh, it was not love at first sight, but it was love at first see with my ears. Because when I heard your name, it was over. It was like, oh
Yeah.
man, I knew I could just tell this guy was perfect, and now I hear his name.
It's a great
Game
name.
over. Spelled right.
Yeah. You go back to the Old Norse origin, where the name Eric
OGs.
means ever
Yeah,
ruler, ever powerful. And I think that's a perfect representation of who we are as people. So,
that's us.
um, but yeah, you always had your cash, your trademark cash shirt on, and
Yeah, it was kind of a bold shirt because if I ever got pressed on any Johnny Cash questions or anything like that, it was a non-starter. I knew the Ring of Fire song.
right,
After
right,
that, not great. But
yeah,
it's the Mug Night shirt, so I had to wear it. It's like my uniform.
yeah. It was like, yeah, it was just a trademark. Like, it was a staple. Like, you couldn't
Like, yeah,
come you couldn't
if
come
you're
to Mug Night without
picturing
it.
iconic uniforms, you got Tom Brady, Patriots jersey, Drew Brees, Saints jersey, Eric in his cash shirt
Yeah,
at Luhan's.
that's just, yep. But no, it's funny too, because like the first time Amy met you was at Charlevoix for our marathon. Actually you and Nick. Um, because I think was it Julian or Nick, or I forgot. I think it was Julian who invited you guys along
Yeah,
to the
yeah,
house as
Julian.
well. And yeah, so I was telling Amy, I'm like, yeah, like there's gonna be, two new guys there. And she's like, oh my gosh, like why do there have to be like more people? Like I mean, it was the house itself was not very big. So I
Right.
don't know if it was like a size thing, of like, oh, where's everyone going to sleep? Or if she was more concerned about just meeting new people. She's a little, she has a little social anxiety when it comes to meeting
Mm.
new people. So I think she was a
Plus,
little
you got the
anxious
marathon.
about that.
It's all that in
Yeah.
the air. It's just it's a big
But,
weekend.
yeah, I'd say it worked out all right. I think,
Yeah.
I think,
Yeah, except for missing one guy finish. That's fine. Finish the marathon.
yeah,
It worked out great.
yeah. But, years down the road, you three have your own, not podcast, but Finer
Book
Things
club.
Club. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it was a good thing. So
Oh yeah. Yeah.
um
And
yeah,
who knows? I mean, we might have our own podcast down the road.
absolutely. So, but man, what was I gonna say? I don't know. Crazy
That'd be
though. Like,
awesome.
yeah, that you were never really part of the friend group initially, like
Yeah.
freshman and sophomore year, but then,
True.
junior, senior year, you were a staple.
Yeah. Because I just met Nick between sophomore junior, and then slowly met like Julie and Nick and all them, and then you, and then Amy, and then
Yeah.
Evie.
Evie, yeah, and she's made some appearances already throughout
Of
this episode. If you
course,
haven't
she's got to
seen her
make her
in the
presence
in the
known. Yeah.
camera, yeah. But no, it's a good story. Drinking brings people together,
Yeah.
and
Oh yeah.
yeah, I'll never forget how many shots you bought for all of us too. I was like, man, is this guy made of money? Like, holy shit! Like, man, it
Yeah.
was just like every mug night, like you bought shots for like the whole table. I'm like, this guy's insane, but like I'm benefiting from it, so I'm gonna let him do it.
Parents
You
were never a fan of
because you
that.
you never. Yeah, you never like ask people to Venmo you back or anything. You just did it. You know, you're just a kind soul. That's just what the Erics do.
Yeah, I mean it's who we are. It's in our name. And yeah, my parents would, because they still had like access to my bank account, so they'd like take a look every now and again, and they would just be appalled. And I'm like, well, why are you looking? Like, stop looking. Easy solution.
Right. But
Yeah,
yeah, what a
had to
time.
keep Luhas afloat somehow.
Yeah.
Couldn't let him
Yeah.
go
You
under.
know, so man, what I would do to get back there. I can't remember
Oh
the last
yeah,
time I've been to Luhas. It's been a minute.
yeah,
It has been a minute. So
sad. But to finish the introduction, if we're still in the introduction phase, I'm not a podcast expert here, but
yeah, I don't know. It doesn't matter.
we could introduce our first Eric themed game, Two Erics and a Lie. That is
Oh,
where one Eric will say two truths and a lie about themselves, and the other Eric will try and guess which one is the lie.
all right.
So
Uh,
let's see what you got. Go ahead, lead us off.
all right. I'll go first, I guess.
Put you right on the spot.
Yeah, no worries. So I ran into Le'Veon Bell in an airport in New Jersey.
Okay,
My
okay.
favorite television show is That 70s Show.
That's
And my
70.
favorite soccer player is Alfonso Davies.
Okay. Well, the first one, that's a random one. Le'Veon Bell in an airport, especially in New Jersey. I feel like if you were going to bump into him anywhere, East Lansing would have been the prime location. So that one's
Right.
a little suspect. If that 70s show is your favorite show, I mean, it could be true, but it's also wrong. So I'll keep that one on the list. And then the last one was favorite soccer player. I'm going to go with, I think that one is the lie.
Alfonso Davies.
Yeah.
So that's the truth. And
Oh, man.
I that's
What
kind
about
of
Lewandowski?
yeah,
He just blew it for Poland, but
ever since he moved to Barcelona, I can't really root for him that much. I was rooting
oh,
for him in the World Cup, don't get me wrong, but I'm a Bayern guy at heart now, I
oh
can't.
man.
So once he left the club, I left him. So when
Stuff.
he's wearing a Poland jersey, I can still root for him. But yeah, I've come to like a lot more guys on the Bayern team that have kind of trumped Lewandowski now. And Alfonso Davies is that guy. He is I think he's
Dang.
20. I think he's 21 years old. He's a Canadian. Um, Unfortunately, they're knocked out of the World Cup now too. They got knocked out in the group stages, but
Poland? Canada?
Canada, yeah.
Canada. Hey,
Um,
they made it. That's pretty good.
Yeah, but I mean, he's a super electric, very fun player to watch. And
Side note about that.
he's just
This
so
might
young.
get us way out of the loop. You ever listen to Canadian radio at all?
I have not. No.
I guess being Indianapolis area, that's going to be tough to catch a signal from. But I'm like right, by
Right.
Detroit, so
Right.
I listen to Canadian country radio sometimes, and like there's that stereotype about Canadians saying like about and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yep.
100% rings true. Like I'll hear a commercial or like they'll be talking about the weather, and they're like, "Look out for that rain this weekend," and it's like
Yeah.
it's real.
Yeah.
So
I used to have a professor that was Canadian too, and like the first day I walked in, I was sitting next to one of my friends, and I was like, "This guy's Canadian." Like I can just tell.
yeah,
And
what
then
is that?
like
I don't know.
yeah, because
Right?
when he was first introducing himself, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm Canadian," and we both just look at each other. I was like, I knew it.
You can just tell.
You can spot it a
But
mile away.
wait, so is that 70 show? Is that the lie then? That's got to be the lie.
No, that's the truth as well.
Man, 0 for
Yeah,
2.
the reason I I wouldn't say I ran into Le'Veon Bell, but I have a selfie with Le'Veon Bell in East Lansing because
And he's
one
dang
of
it.
the football games, he was the honorary captain, and me and one of my other buddies would always go front row the years we had season tickets. So we were like right down there by the field, and so Le'Veon came by,
Dang.
and so my friend actually threw him his phone, and he took a
Oh.
selfie with us. So that was pretty cool. But no,
Dang.
I don't know if it was in New Jersey, but my friend AJ, my best man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know him, AJ, obviously.
Yeah.
He
Guy who lost his keys.
yeah, yeah. And who was the one to find him? Me.
Hero. It's Eric's a hero.
Yeah.
It's
I mean, that's just gonna be the common theme. Just anything positive or anything
We've been a part of it. We
valiant.
had we were a factor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's just who the Erics are. But yeah, I think he ran into Le'Veon in an airport.
Ah,
I don't know if it was the one in New Jersey. The reason I said New Jersey is because when he was playing on the Jets there for a while, that would make it a little more believable. But
yeah.
no, did not run into Le'Veon
Dang.
in an airport.
Oh,
All right, let's see what you got. Let's see if I
my
can.
turn.
Let's see if I can decipher your lie.
Okay. Okay. I think did I write it down? I wrote it down. I'm prepared. Look at this. Got
Yeah,
taking notes over here. Number one, I can speak Chinese. Number two, I was on an episode of Hot Bench. And three, lived in China for 2 years. I did the tricky strategy of putting two that are pretty similar. So what do you do?
yeah,
What do you do with those?
yeah. I think I don't know. You're a tricky fella. You are. Um, hmm, I know at least one of them is true, and that's that you were on the episode of Hot Bench. I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
I really want to see it. So
Oof. It's
yeah,
a weird one.
you'll have to pull it up sometime because I think you've tried to, like when we've been hanging out in the past and it just never happened. But
Yeah, I think
or you
so.
couldn't find it. But yeah, one day,
Believe it or not,
promise.
they're not airing that baby every week. That
Yeah,
classic episode
right.
of
It's like
television.
yeah, you would think. Um, I I don't think you speak Chinese. I think if you spoke fluent Chinese, I think you would like I would have known that by
I'd be
now.
speaking it. I'd be speaking it way
Yeah.
more than yeah. I'd be just throwing it around. Especially I feel like if I was drunk, it would just, come out, just start
Yeah.
Chinese all over the place. But no, you are correct. I cannot speak Chinese. I tried learning when I lived there for 2 years, but didn't really stick. I was in third and fourth grade and came back to Midland, Michigan, where Chinese is not a big topic of conversation there.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
Can you speak
Dang.
Dutch though?
Also cannot speak Dutch. And I was thinking about throwing that in there that I was born in the Netherlands,
Yeah, I
but we were
was
talking World Cup, so I think it was pretty well known.
yeah. So that was gonna be my follow up because I'm like, I know he was born in the Netherlands. I wonder if he can speak that. But
No, yeah,
no,
born
yeah,
there,
I've never
lived
heard
there
you throw
for
that out either.
9, 10 months probably, and
Yeah,
then moved back to Michigan. But I definitely had to support the home country, even though they were playing the U.S. last weekend.
yeah. The U.S. It's easy to root against them, which is weird for me to say
Yeah,
as a citizen, but it's just like they've never been good at soccer, so it's just
no,
hard to soccer, football, whatever you want to call it. Um,
yeah, it's
it,
called soccer chants. Also, a
yeah,
very American touch to put on the World Cup.
yeah,
Like,
I I'd have to agree. But yeah, it's just I don't. All my teams that I've been rooting for are already out, so I don't really have much skin in the game anymore. But Netherlands entering the tournament before like even the opening ceremony game had begun. Netherlands was my dark horse team, so
hey,
I am Team Orange from here on out. So I
I
think
can
they've
lend you
got
my orange jacket.
yeah.
That's what I wore, just the all orange. But you had to do it.
So yeah, I think they've got Argentina next, right? So
Argentina on Friday, I believe.
they
But
gotta
I mean,
they gotta take down Messi.
but this will probably air after that, so we'll just have to talk like we know they won. So yeah, when they beat Messi, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was awesome.
It was awesome.
Trash
Moving on, I think they
trash Messi.
actually World Cup might be completely over by the time this airs. So yeah,
Yeah.
Netherlands with the win. Love to see
Wait,
it.
yeah, the whole tournament.
That was
Amazing.
crazy.
So good for them, honestly. How does it feel? To have your
Oh,
home country.
feels great. Just feel good for all my little baby friends that I met in the infirmary. Is that what you call the
Yeah.
baby place at the hospital? Yep.
Yeah. So I'm
I'm thinking
happy
about
for
getting back together with all those babies one day.
yeah, I think you have to.
Wouldn't that
I
be
mean,
interesting?
winning the World Cup, that's like isn't that enough cause for
Oh yeah,
celebration?
gotta be.
So, yeah, congratulations on the win. And
Thanks. It was big. I helped out a lot.
yeah.
I was a big factor for him. Yeah.
So, um yeah, what else you got for us? I know you got some tricks up your sleeve.
So I got one more. segment, I guess,
Yeah, yeah,
call
yeah.
that on a podcast. It's called One Name, Two Takes. So because we're both devilishly handsome, tall people named Eric that are awesome, people think that we share every single opinion together. And while more often than not we're on the same page because we're both smart and kind of seem to be on the right side of most issues, I'm sure there are times where we can have differing opinions, and we
Yeah,
just want to show to the people listening that yeah, we have the same name and we're both great, but we can be different at times.
absolutely. Absolutely.
So this essentially will be, we will throw a take out there, one of us, and we'll see if the other has the same opinion. Probably not, you never know. um and so the first one, I mean, I have to say this one is my first one. I think what's coming without having done any prep with me. Maroon 5, greatest band of the 21st century.
Yeah, it is.
Take number one.
It's a hot topic of conversation within the friend group. And it's funny because I feel like everyone else in the group like gets a lot more worked up about it than they should. I feel like I might poke a joke or two at you like every now and then about it, but like I'm not, it doesn't bother me as much as like it seems to bother a lot of the other people.
It
So
really does seem to get under their skin a lot.
yeah, um, I'm going to respectfully disagree. Um, but if you were to ask me who is the best
That was going
band
to be
of the
my
21st
follow-up.
century, I don't really have an answer for you right now, just because I most of the artists I listen to are a little bit kind of more individual. They don't really have bands,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
man,
and it's been like it's a weird, they're the greatest because they've kind of outlived bands. Like bands aren't really that big in like mainstream music anymore. Like they just kind of are the only ones left. Like Nickelback, is that who we're maybe Coldplay? They haven't really been too much in the last decade, too much.
right, right,
And I'll throw, I mean, I could throw a billion stats at you as to why they're just how they've dominated radio for 20 plus years. But I think there's one that I will tell you that will really let it sink in for you. So there's two groups ever that have had a top two hit on the Billboard Hot 100 in three separate decades. That would be the Rolling Stones, one of the greatest bands of all time, and Maroon 5. So they stand
it's
alone.
it's an impressive accomplishment for sure. I you're lying if you disagree, or if you want to be ignorant and pretend it's not true, because it is true.
It's true.
Yeah, bands.
It's true. And then their music's, everyone likes their music. People in our
It
friend group even will try and be like, no, they don't like it. But you put it on and they're not suspecting it. They'll
it
start grooving before they realize, oh, wait, I'm supposed to say I hate this band.
it's very catchy, yeah. And you actually kind of caught some people slipping a couple weeks back,
It's my favorite
after
pastime.
Thanksgiving when we were pre-gaming before Disco Fever.
Boogie
So
Fever. Boogie Fever.
Boogie Fever, yeah, yeah. Boogie and disco in,
Oh, yeah. There
easy
was,
to
I
get them
mean,
mixed
disco
up.
balls were everywhere. There
Yeah,
was a lot going on
yeah.
there.
We
So,
were having a great time. We were getting our groove on, and
oh, yeah.
yeah, I had the worst hangover of my life the following day, but
Hangover was rough.
yeah, yeah. I mean, those doubles are no joke. So, yeah, I don't know, of 21st century bands. What are some bands I like? I like Two Door Cinema Club. I don't know if you know a lot of their stuff. I like
Got a
Empire of
ton.
the Sun.
The
Um,
sun.
yeah, I would have to take a deeper look into it than we have time for right now. But um,
Yeah. I,
Maroon
I would
Five,
I would
very
just say if
catchy.
anybody is out there like doubting, go to a Maroon 5 concert and you will not only recognize every single song that's played, you will like every single song that's played if you were honest about it. And then you realize this guy is a great voice live, and they put on a hell of a show. Just great all around.
What do you think about the Adam Levine allegations, though?
I mean, hey, I'm not to talk about somebody else's personal life, but
I respect that. You're not going to slander anyone on this podcast.
no. And there are allegations, and he's a family man. He's still hanging with his fam and you know, stuff. But hey, no laws were broken, and who among us hasn't tried to get our baby named after our mistress? It's just it's
Yeah, it
we've all been
happens.
there.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
don't cast stones if you're in a glass house or whatever that saying is, right?
Yeah, yeah. The eyes are the window of the house, right? Or the soul of the house, whatever.
Yeah.
However, Andy
Andy
Dwyer.
Dwyer
Yeah,
at the campaign event with
yeah.
the yeah.
All right. My
Okay, I'll give you a take here. I got a second take for you that I know you're not going to be on the side of. Christmas cards. I think I think they're a thing of the past. I don't really understand them, but I will say I got a Christmas card from you and
Yeah,
Amy and Evie. And
yeah.
while it is on our fridge, I don't understand. I don't know. I don't get them.
You know, surprisingly, even though I was on it, I'm gonna take your side on this one.
Hey,
I
not a
think
fan.
I just yeah, my family never did them growing up either. We would get them and it's like, oh, cool. You put it on your fridge for, a couple of weeks. And then after Christmas ends, you rip that shit off and throw it in the trash. Like,
Yeah,
it's like, it was nice, seeing your face every time I went to go get a pop out of the fridge or something. But like, so if it weren't for Amy, like I wouldn't do them either.
dang.
It's something she enjoys. So, I let her do it. But yeah, if it were up to
Hey,
me,
that's a good fiance right there.
we wouldn't do Christmas cards. I'm totally on your side here. I just I've I think it's something if your family. I don't know if your parents ever sent Christmas cards out to
Yeah.
people.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so that kind of debunks my theory there. But I was gonna say, I feel like if it's something that you did in your childhood growing up, that would kind of um. Sorry, something just popped up here.
Well,
Let's get rid of it. You know what? We're just gonna move it down. There we go. Um, So yeah, no, my family never did them, and that's kind of why I have that
mm.
opinion.
See,
You know,
my family did them, and it was just like, why? And
yeah,
they would get so many, and it's like, wow, why?
yeah.
Just
It's like
all
we
big,
just
big
we don't
why?
have enough. We don't have enough space on our fridges
Yeah.
for all you people.
And it's like 2022. Maybe like put it in the email. I can look at it on the
Yeah,
email and then
yeah, like
just
a digital version. Yeah,
yeah,
that's
save
saves
save the
money.
planet. We're trying to save the
Yeah,
planet. Save some money here. Like, come on.
save paper, save money on stamps. Yeah, everyone wins.
Yeah.
Um,
How about this take for you? I don't think MSU basketball is going to make the tournament this year.
it's yeah. I could go either way. I think they're going to though. Just to play devil's advocate here. I think they started out well, and I know they played two really high ranked teams, with Gonzaga and Kentucky, and only lost to Zaga by one, and then ended up beating Kentucky. And early of the year or beginning of the year, a lot of teams haven't really caught their groove yet. So it's I wouldn't say they're um, you know respectable losses and like good wins yet. We'll have to see where the final rankings land. Come March. But I know having Malik Hall out these past couple of games has been rough for him, and
Yeah.
he's a big player. He's a big time player, and he's someone that they count on when he's out on the court. So not having him out there the past couple of games has really hurt him. But I've got faith in Izzo. I think once Hall comes back, I think we can get in a little bit of a groove, and I think he'll have us rolling by March.
You make great points, and I would love to agree with you, but there's one reason I won't, and that reason is named Joey Hauser. And if he's gonna be, shooting 15 times a game like he has been, it's only so
Yeah,
much Izzo can do.
it's like I will agree with you on that. He has a lot of really bad turnovers, especially like down to the wire there, where they really just need to hang on to the ball or make a big shot, and he'll be wide open and just can't sink it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like he'll have like one really good game where he like carries the team, and everyone's like, oh yeah, like don't sleep on Hauser. And then like the next 4 games, like he has like one good game every 5 games. And it's like,
Yeah.
well, yeah, that one game he played really well. That did help us out to win that game. But what about all these other things he did and the other 4 games that lost us those games?
Yeah. It's
So
true. All right.
I've
Here's a question for you.
all right, I
Real
have one
quick.
after you. All right.
Real quick. Do you have an Android or an Apple?
I have an iPhone. You knew
And
this. I
that
don't even
that
know
is
why,
I want to put you on blast in
but
front of all of our listeners here.
uh
I want you to hear it from the horse's mouth. Look at me with all the sayings that I'm hitting today.
yeah, you're on it.
That is probably our biggest divide. That's sad. And we could both be Android bros, man. Come on. Jump to the dark side,
I
to the
just
green side.
the green side. Yeah. Give me green like they text me off the Samsung.
Look at that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a little bar there for you. It's
Bars.
yeah. But no, I can't, it's just I can't.
Be on the right side of history.
Nah,
Join the
nah.
androids.
iPhone gang for sure. Um
Okay.
I don't know how much time we have left here. Looks like 6 minutes. All right.
6 minutes.
We still got a little bit of time.
Yeah, I saw that, or else I would have kept ranting about androids. But I'm
Yeah,
like,
that's all right.
let's.
Yeah, so we'll try to rapid fire these off here. I don't know if it's a hot take, but Thor is the best Avenger. What do you
Best Avenger, as in like the movies are the best, or he's just the best. Like
that
he.
he is the best out of out of all the Avenger characters. Yeah.
Mm,
I mean I'm also biased. I think his movies are the best too. Actually, that's a lie. I think Captain America has really good movies. Some of the Thor movies, you can like watch it and be like, "What the hell just happened?" Like, you can like, it's hard to process what's going on. Um, but yeah, Thor's the best Avenger by far. No, no, no question.
I gotta go Iron Man. Although, I mean, it's hard to argue because in Infinity War he basically saves the entire day for all the entire Avengers when he comes in with that freaking hammer. Even though he kind
Yeah,
of chokes that last shot,
yeah,
uh, he that makes a compelling argument that he's the best, like actual like best fighter warrior Avenger. But I mean, Iron Man is just too funny, too awesome to ignore.
man. I kind of lost a little respect for you for that one. I hate Iron Man. He's a douchebag. I think he's a
Oh,
little like a
huge
stuck.
douchebag.
I think he's a stuck up prick.
Oh yeah,
Um,
all true.
and yeah, he does not have my respect. So in
Got some
turn,
good
I
one
lose
liners
respect for
though.
you, Huss. So um, another one for you, actually, kind of along the same Marvel timeline, or um, not timeline. Anyway, I'm rambling. Zendaya is trash. That's my
Ooh,
take.
we talking
Like,
singing,
no,
acting,
just both.
life.
Yeah, I mean, I I don't like her at all. I'm gonna be honest.
Ooh, I don't know. I don't know about that one.
I don't hate her. I
That's
don't
a
hate her. I
that's a
just
hot
don't like
take.
her at all.
Man, are you going to be hurting when she hears this podcast?
Yeah, I mean, she can take it up with me and my
She's
PR
gonna,
team if she wants.
yeah,
So
she's gonna sick her Zendaya army on you,
yeah, and
and it's just gonna be, I don't know, you're gonna
I'll
have
be able
you and
to
Evie fighting
I'll be able to
back.
take it. I'll be able to take it.
I don't know. I think she's pretty talented. She's got some skills. Got some skills out here, singing,
I don't know, man.
acting.
I saw her act and shake it up, when she first kind of jumped on the scene, and
Oh,
just
okay.
not good, man. And she just
Maybe
hasn't.
that's why I don't hate
Well,
her because I did not see her on that.
she just hasn't impressed me since. She hasn't done anything to, try to work her way back, kind of gain back my
Was that her peak? Shake it off or shake it up?
no, I don't know. I just that's how I got introduced to her, and I didn't like her in that. So
Oof.
ergo, I don't like her still. And being a big fan of the old Spider-Mans, like the OG Spider, like the Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans, when
Yeah.
you've got like Kirsten Dunst as Mary Jane Watson, then when you replace her with Zendaya, it's just I don't know. I also don't like how her and Tom Holland are like dating in real life. Like,
Are they? I always thought that was just like a
uh,
publicity thing. I never
yeah,
understood. Is that like real? It's
I
tricky.
don't know.
You ever seen Euphoria with her?
No,
That's Zendaya, right?
I don't know. Like, yeah, like I just anything Zendaya, I avoid it just because I just don't like her that much. So I catch a little bit of flack. Is that the right word?
Black?
Uh, for that. Um, but that's just how I feel.
Hey, can't change how you're feeling, you know?
Yeah. So I think we have time for one more. If you've got one quick one off the top of your head, I don't really have. We've got a minute 30 left here.
I think fantasy football is awesome. I know you're anti fantasy football. You refuse to
Yeah,
play it.
man. Yeah, yeah. I'll try to keep this brief. You know, I was in a family league for a really long time. Um, and one of the final years I was still in the league, I finally won the championship. That's all I wanted to do. I just wanted to win it once. But I think I played 2 more years after winning the championship, and I quickly learned that the more effort and like thought you put into the picks you make, like it's not worth it. Like I just get way too upset when my teams lose, and I just put way too much thought into my picks, and they just completely backfire on me. So I
Oh
just
yeah.
decided, hey, I'm just gonna watch football subjectively instead of objectively, and I've been a lot happier since. So
Oh yeah. There's nothing like having your day completely ruined by a fantasy football matchup.
yeah, yeah,
And the
I
upside is not there either because you win, nobody cares. You lose, and you care way too much. And
yeah,
it's a great thing.
yeah. So yeah, I hate to end this kind of abruptly, but we are very close to the end here. We're less than
Eric's
a minute
out.
away. So thank you all for listening. Hope you enjoyed this special Eric Takeover episode of Oh, we've talked about that. And if you want to hear more of us, let us know. And maybe we could start our own podcast. And
Name your